How's it going, guys? What I wanted to do in this video is actually talk to you about a manual safety, or one aspect of the manual safety on a defensive firearm that you may not have considered. And one of the things that I want to look at is, of course, the 1911. I've got my Springfield operator here, as well as one of my Kimbers. This is my Kimber Hero. I do have individual videos on both of these guns on my channel if you'd want to go and check them out. Now, it may sound like a strange thing to some of you all, but if you are going to carry a firearm that has a manual safety, I would suggest that you get one that has a safety on both sides, that does have the ambidextrous safety. That may sound unusual, but if you will allow me, I will explain. Typically what we see on a lot of firearms is the manual safety will just be on one side of that gun. You can see here on my Kimber, it is just on the left side of the gun. It does not have a safety on the right. There are other models of the Kimbers that do. You can see here on my Springfield, however, it does have the safety on both sides. Now, of course, I'm just using 1911s as an example, but there are a lot of other guns out there that do have manual safeties. The Smith & Wesson M&P EZ, for example, you can get them with and without the manual safety. A lot of Springfield firearms will come with manual safety. An aspect of something that a lot of people don't really think about is what happens if you are injured. If you are a right-handed shooter, your carry gun only has the safety on one side, and for whatever reason, whether you fell off a ladder while changing a light at your house, or just anything that could possibly happen, what would you do if you needed to be able to use that firearm with the opposite hand? This goes for left-handed shooters as well. You know, I know some folks out there will have a gun that has where they've changed the safety to where it is just on the left side. You know, this is something for you to think about as well, and it's why you may want the ambidextrous safety. Okay, if I were to try to operate the safety on this gun using my left hand only, you can see that it is virtually impossible to do that. Okay, I can reach around with my thumb to disengage that safety just like that. However, that is a bit awkward, and plus, if I'm only doing this with one hand under stress, there's a very good chance something could happen and I could accidentally drop the firearm, lose the grip on my firearm, or whatever. Okay, so that's something to consider. Now, a gun that does have an ambidextrous safety is one, you can simply just manipulate that safety as normal, only using your opposite hand. Okay, I strongly recommend everyone, in my classes and everything else, I recommend everyone learn how to manipulate a firearm with your weak hand. Not just using your primary hand, but your weak hand also. Not just using one hand, but one-handed with your weak hand. That does add that level of stress. It does add a thing, just a little bit more of an element of reality. Because, for example, if you're out with your family, especially if you have kids or another loved one with you, under stress, if something happens, you're going to need to move that loved one out of the way, especially if you have a child. They are basically dead weight. You have got to be able to have one hand free to move that child to safety. Okay, so that is one reason why you would want to be able to manipulate a firearm with just one hand. However, if your primary hand is injured, or even if that child is on your primary hand side or whatever, and you needed to react quickly, you may need to be able to manipulate that firearm with your weak hand. So that's just a couple of reasons why. There's many things out there that can happen in life that we do not expect, but the more you prepare for those things, the better off you will be. I would highly recommend that you learn to manipulate a firearm with your weak hand. You need to learn how to shoot that firearm accurately with just using your weak hand. And part of that, if you are going to carry a firearm with a manual safety, also consider using one that has the ambidextrous safety. Okay, you know, if there again, I cannot manipulate it as easy with it just on one side of the gun. But guys, this is just a quick video that I wanted to do. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you carry a gun with a manual safety? If so, what are your thoughts on this? I'd love to hear from you. Guys, thanks for watching. Check out the rest of the videos on my channel. Check out all the links down in the description, and we'll see you next time.